So here we go.
Okay, we're Bonnie and Greg Dixon from Storybrand TV, and we're here with Paige Speers, and she's an integrated wellness connector. And Paige, maybe you can tell us a bit about what that means.
This comes from my own experience of pulmonary embolism and anoxic brain injury. And it's a kind of brain injury that maybe isn't particularly well understood, at least in recovery terms, by the standard traditional allopathic medical community. And I also, so in Missouri, the state will fund traumatic brain injuries, like with structural trauma, but mine wasn't, so they don't offer quite as much funding for that. And I've come to realize that what contributed to my injury was things in 3 areas. There was nutrition, and there was physical rehabilitation and optimization, and there was energetic and emotional alignment. And those are the pieces that I'll be covering to help other brain injury survivors through the program I'm creating. And what really started it all was, I think, the nutritional department, where I was eating less than optimally and taking antibiotics long term. Another traditional medical oversight where it was thought that antibiotics could help with acne, and when really it was my microbiome that needed attention. And so there was that. And then also after a while, antibiotics for my wisdom teeth surgery in 2005, although by then things were going downhill in the mental and emotional department, and I'd had anxiety that started my sophomore year in college, and I just started feeling really crummy before this first semester started, and it continued for most of the semester, where I just didn't feel right and nothing really made sense to me emotionally, and I just wanted to stop. So I, at the end of the semester, and I was home at Christmas, and then I started taking the anti-anxiety medications, and including benzodiazepines. And the thing is that that turned into an ongoing prescription, which it really probably shouldn't have. And I just didn't feel any better in all the time following. And so in addition to my microbiome being off and neurotransmitters being off from that, then that was contributing to my anxiety, a lot of it, I think. So then I took all the medications for a total of 12 years, although it did at least get me through college graduation, although it had a lot of ups and downs with things going on, needing dosage adjustments. And it just, after a while, things were just plain flat. And with my employment also, I was looking for work and never quite found anything that really truly resonated with me. And so I tried retail, and that was no fun. And I was really only part-time with that. Even as a merchandiser, I was getting more per hour, but I wasn't doing all that many. It was maybe 4 hours a day. And then after that, I finally started working in offices, like with DCFS, and eventually a law firm, and ironically in the medical claims department, entering cases, though it was for the Southwest states. And anyway, I was never particularly fulfilled by even that. And so it all was just one big, I guess you could call it a Saturn return. And as it happened when I was 32, although things had been building up before that. And so, yeah, I now realize all of that was contributed to the injury, my emotional state, and everything. And it was when I was at work at the law office on May 11th, 2016.
Is there somebody there?
Oh, yeah, just my husband coming home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, so it was kind of it was really a stress on my system, all of it. And so I had just gotten back from a psychiatrist appointment actually that afternoon, and I was in the mailroom, and after a while I said I felt dizzy. I heard this later since I don't remember having blacked out, and then I heard that my coworker did CPR until the ambulance got the hospital and the rehab hospital. And my care team at University of Missouri said they'd never seen a cardiac case come off assisted breathing in less than 24 hours. So yeah, that was something there. And it was a struggle for me initially recovering and even just really knowing what was going on. Although I remember I was out of it for a while since I had to have sedation for the medication withdrawal. That was really something. And so I thought I'd be back at the office in maybe 2 weeks, but I didn't go back to work. And another thing that happened is that, well, it was at the rehab hospital when I realized I couldn't read. And that was a real shock to me since I'd been such a strong reader before. And everything was just so confusing for a while. And then I had spasms that came up in my lower left leg, although that was a week after the rehab hospital and 6-7 weeks post-injury. And I think that my functional neurologist also says that the PTs at both the hospital and the rehab hospital were only concerned with getting me walking, and that nobody was even trained to really acknowledge the underlying developmental patterns that would have gotten disrupted. And yeah, and so I spent about close to a year in Rockford, Illinois with my parents, and so my mom could take me to appointments and things. And then I went to my first brain injury support group meetings there, and I found out about therapeutic horseback riding from a guest speaker. And so I started doing that. I went to the stable about 45 minutes away, and I had individual lessons twice a week for the better part of 8 months. And I did all kinds of things, different things with the horse. Like I started out in a bareback bed and with sidewalkers and doing things like I would, while the horse was moving, swing my legs to one side or the other or face the back, or sitting facing forward, and I would hold an exercise ball and swing my arms kind of from one side to the other and hold the ball in different places. Or also my instructor would hold each end of a PVC pole behind the horse, and I would hold the other end, sort of like a driving shaft for the horse, and work on my arm swing. That was really helpful. And then when I moved back to Missouri, and I was looking around online, and I found health summits and wellness, and the Brain Health Summit that Amy Zellmer started. And that was when I found out about functional neurology, and that really gets to the root of what's going on with movement and things and exercises that can help it. And that's been really helpful to me also, in addition to chiropractic care. And I found that through the brain injury support group in Columbia, Missouri. And that was a connection. The facilitator there is also my somatic practitioner, and I found her through a flyer at my Reiki practitioner's office. So I went back to Reiki group healing sessions every month. I'd been doing that since 2015. and that also has helped my energetic and emotional piece. And since then, I did a year of training with Integrative Medicine Institute online, and that works with the body's energy systems and essences, emotions, and self-images, and rays and crystals. And so that helps my energetic and emotional alignment. And also, there were other health summits where I learned about nutrition and supplements that I could take to support my brain and gut health. And I really just want to bring all of this information to the other brain injury survivors out there who need it.
Wow, that is amazing. So it was due to a heart incident. See if I got it right. It was your heart that was in distress, but it caused the TBI, the traumatic brain injury, because of the heart?
The blood clots that built up in my lungs from the medications, and also likely my sedentary work in the last few years of it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What's amazing is your determination and your strength to continue forward, because I think your chi energy, your energy that you are, is not allowing you to sit still. You are a mover and a shaker and a learner, and now you're sharing with others your story so that they can see things as well. What's the message that you'd like people to, I mean, you have several messages, but what's the message that you really want people to take with them?
That there are new options available now, and be persistent and have the perseverance to find what's good for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's the, what would you say your daily routine is now to stay healthy?
Well, I do a meditation in the morning now, and also an affirmation that's used by my meditation group, the Alchemy Collective, and I'm also in their Heart Collective, and so we share even more the group and the events. And also I bring in different kinds of diamond light that we have as a tool for the group every day. And that's been very centering to me. And I can mark that off in my Thought Leader Academy planner. I went to that event in October. It was live for the first time in 2 years again. When I went the first year, I was the first recipient of their program scholarship. And I've been using that group and the weekly calls to gain inspiration to continue to work on this Thought Leader platform and my book.
Oh, tell us more about your book. You're in the midst of writing it right now?
Yeah, it's a prescriptive memoir about everything that I just told you, and I'm also featuring interviews with the practitioners who have helped me and who I would recommend to others.
Well, that's exciting and fascinating. Writing a book is quite an accomplishment. I honor that you're doing that. Many people talk about writing a book, but they don't get the round to it. So by you doing that, you're going to give people a lot of inspiration to move forward with that.
Yeah, and I even have each interview as a separate document that I could also publish as articles. And what I'm looking for now is a nutritional psychiatrist to contribute one of the last interviews to complete the manuscript.
Oh, that's great.
That is exciting. Oh my goodness.
So we'll put out the call for you.
Yes, we'll definitely want to share that with people. So on a daily basis, you're grateful, you're thankful, you're meditating, you're eating probably well, you're probably exercising. And what else might you recommend for people?
For the equine inclined, therapeutic horseback riding. That's another kind of therapy that's helped me a lot and carries over from my initial equestrian major in college, although I got my BA in dance And that and somatic movement is another thing that I've been doing also. And I've currently been working on rolling and crawling and getting those developmental patterns wired in correctly.
That is so exciting. Horses are so wonderful. They seem intuitively to be in tune with people. I have seen that with other people as well.
I did a video project with somebody in North Vancouver who was doing a thing called Violin for Wellness. She was a concert violin player, and she would play the violin while people were going through therapy on a horse. So it helped calm the human and calm the horse.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Almost like musical freestyle in dressage.
Like musical freestyle. There we go.
Yes.
Now, if we can get the horse to play the violin, that'll be something.
So was dressage your favorite style of riding?
Yeah, that and hunt seat. Though dressage was going to be my primary seat, and I started actually here at William Woods University. And my husband was a theater major, and he got a job here right after college doing facilities management, things like event tech setup and scheduling.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Yes.
That is so wonderful. And so do you have an idea? Will the book be out in 2022?
It would be really nice if it could be. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're also working on a program too.
Oh, yes. Let's hear about the program.
Yeah, the program is going to be called something like 10X Your Recovery or 10X Your Wellness for brain injury survivors. And I'm going to start with a target market of established entrepreneurs with brain health concerns or caring for someone with a brain injury. And they'd like to know all the new options available.
That is so
that
exciting.
Sounds like the 10X Dolphin program here.
Especially if they're tired of hearing all the same things from traditional allopathic medicine that they don't know what else they can do.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you're onto something, Paige. I have another dear friend that as well was a traumatic brain injury survivor. And you two are two peas in a pod. You're positive, you're inspiring, and you're not sitting around having a pity party. You're moving forward. And you know what? That creates energy for everyone, whether you have a TBI, whether you're just the regular person, because a lot of people can't see beyond where they're at. And I can see that you have a vision to help others. And that is very honorable. To do
Absolutely, Bonnie. And even anxiety can be helped a lot by nutrition and getting the microbiome and neurotransmitters back on track.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and off the benzodiazepines.
Absolutely. We're so glad to have met you, Paige. We're so glad to support you on this journey. And I know in future we'll be having another interview about that book and that course that's coming on its way for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for being on our show today.
Yes.
And we look forward to staying in touch, and everyone stay tuned because Paige has more to share with us down the line.
You certainly do.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and joining us today.
And thank you for having me on.
Great.